I'm David Posner. I'm CEO of Nutritional High. Our company is in the marijuana industry, and we're focused on oil extraction and edibles in the marijuana marketplace. Uh, what what our focus is in the marketplace is to bring high quality oil extractions. Oil extractions is the processing of marijuana leaf and marijuana trim. What happens with the marijuana is it goes into a CO2 extractor. The goes into a CO2 extractor and comes out as a marijuana oil. It's very similar to a large juicer. With that oil, we then make edibles. So we've come out and we've created a very high-end edible line. We're focusing on chocolates and candies. We work with our VP of development. Her name is Melissa Parks. She's a cordon bleu chef, and she worked at General Mills. She's designed these products. The chocolates are great tasting and they're unbelievable. But what we've done is our company mandate is focused on having products that have shelf life. In the marijuana market today, for example, in Colorado, there's 300 dispensaries. There's a huge shortage of edibles in the marketplace. Now, there are edible suppliers that are very small mom and pop suppliers, and some of them can make for 10 or 20 dispensaries, but they don't have a shelf life. So our company mandate is to have in the range of a 6-month shelf life. So it allows these dispensaries, which are retail operations that hold a marijuana license and only sell marijuana in their establishments, to actually have supply and shelf the product so they can order an ample supply. In the Colorado market, what happens is these dispensaries get the products. They can only order very few of them because they don't have a long shelf life. People come in, buy the products, and then when the next people come in, they're out of the products. And until they can get more, it takes a while because they're just making so few. So what we're doing is we've taken it to a semi-automated process. And what this does is give the market ample supply. But more than that, it allows for consistency in our product line and in our dosing. So the biggest problem in the edibles marijuana market is actually infusing the product with the marijuana oil. So having our automated process, we work with a consultant from Novartis who's actually created this line with Melissa Parks, where we have dosage, where we dose the product and it gets dosed proportionately. So every time somebody has a bite of our candy, they know exactly the consistency, they know the strain of marijuana that it is, and they know the feeling they're going to get. So we want everybody to have the exact same feeling every single time. Presently, we're building out our facility in Colorado, and we are getting everything ready to hit the Colorado marketplace. A lot of people just want to have our product, one, because Melissa's making it, and the other because they see that it's the first product that's going to have an ample supply. So they feel that they can introduce this product to their customers, that the customers can buy it, and every time they come back, they'll always have a supply of it. You know, the retailers get very scared in the edibles market because they take on a product, people like it, people come back for the product, and they don't have the product, and then people will then go to another store to have the product. So the most important part of this edible market is, one, obviously having the supply, which we're going to be the first company which is going to be able to provide it in the Colorado marketplace. And the second thing is us to actually taste good. And this is what Melissa brings to the table, being a cordon bleu chef. And that's our Colorado focus. We've just acquired 51% of a New Mexico producer. It's called Sacred Garden. So we're entering the New Mexico market. It's a great market in New Mexico. Sacred Garden's the number 2 producer in the marketplace right now. And what we're doing is we're bringing in the first CO2 oil extraction machine into the state, and we're going to start producing our edibles in the state. New Mexico is a seed to sale operation, so you actually have retail dispensaries. The retail dispensary right now is in Santa Fe. Santa Fe has about 60,000 people. The they're opening a second retail operation in Albuquerque, which has 1 million people. So we think just on the retail operation side, we're going to more than double the revenue. And now we're going to bring the edibles and the oils into the marketplace. Now, the marijuana oils get used for several things. One they get used for is to sell to other edible manufacturers. And the second is they get put in vape pens. So we make, our oil goes in little cartridges and gets sold to the dispensaries. In Colorado, it's a felony offense to actually smoke marijuana on the street, but you're allowed to smoke vape pens or vaporizers. So we provide the oil that goes into the vaporizers, and this is the highest profit margin part of the whole marijuana industry. So this is a big focus of ours. The other thing we do is we third-party produce for other growers and other dispensaries where they bring in their own marijuana, and we have our specialty oil guys use our machinery, and we get in the range of $7 to $9 a gram for just producing the oil for them. So this is a huge profit component to the company. Oils, though, are a commodity, and the difference between the oils and the edibles are the edibles, there is a massive lack of supply, and for a long time there will be, because the scalability of it is very difficult, and coming up with the composition of the machinery and the infusion is a very difficult task that we've been working on for the past 9 months. So what the edibles allow us to do is get into virtually every dispensary in all the licensed states that we're going to operate. And at that point in time, we can also leverage our oils into the marketplace, which is even higher profit margin than the edibles. As you look at the profitability, it goes for oils number 1, edibles number 2, and then the growing the flower way down there number 3. So this is the background on our company, and we're presently looking at a variety of other states. So we're looking at setting up complete operations in certain states, and another we're looking at actually just doing licensing deals. We have a variety of deals on the table. Obviously, I can't announce them until we complete these acquisitions, but we're at the cannabis, or we're going to the Cannabis Cup on the weekend, and we're in Denver right now for a whole variety of meetings. So this is the week of the year where most people in the marijuana industry come to Denver. So it's just meeting after meeting, and we're looking at this meeting. Obviously, we're always looking for innovative products and technology, but more than that, we're looking at different licensed producers in different states that want to license our technology. There's been a lot of interest from what we've done, and we've gotten a lot of both media exposure, just in the press and within the marijuana industry itself. So, we're going to continue on this path, and we're going to continue to create high quality products, because the most important thing that you have is the quality of your product. If people like the product, they keep buying it. We're going to continue to grow. Chad, are there any questions that you have?
Let me just make sure
Does anybody else in the
you can hear me?
And does anybody else in the that's on the conference have any questions?
1 sec here. I'll just I'll see if anybody has any questions. I haven't got any questions yet. There are several of us on, and so far everybody's been good on the walkthrough. I've just been upgrading a couple to panelists so they can ask questions if they like. So
okay, and just to update you on the public side, we're publicly traded. We're traded on the CSE in Canada under the symbol NHL, and we're also traded on the pink sheets under the symbol that we're going to be, and as we go forward, if we do get on another exchange in the US, we also will be announcing that as well. We are operating solely in the United States. We're a Canadian-based company, but our operations are in the States, so we're definitely interested in the trading in the US marketplace and investor base in the US marketplace. We just find the US market marketplace is much more highly profitable than the Canadian, and obviously the market share is much more massive. So this has been our focus from the start. And also in Canada, it is not legal presently to make oils or edibles. This is basically, our complete business platform. So over time, we believe the Canadian marketplace will change, and at that point, we'll have a large brand presence in the States, and we'll come home and also make the product in Canada. We're constantly looking at other countries as well, and many other countries are going to come on board. And as the legislation changes in these countries, we're focused and we're looking to get licenses in different countries, different states, and kind of move forward from there. We've been very successful in our applications put forward. We also were successful in Illinois. We're putting in our final application in Illinois, but we were offered, I guess in essence, it was a conditional license or the right to put in the final application. There are about 500 applicants, and they chose 56, and we were one of the 56, and we were very highly ranked in our applications. They're very complex, these marijuana applications, and our team has really focused on putting in the most detailed and refined applications. And each state government to date has really taken to them because we've received the permits. So we'll continue to do this state by state and country by country. And part of this whole building of the company, there was obviously, you have to create great products. You have to be very refined in the applications, and there's a huge real estate component to this. So in Colorado, we own our facility. In Illinois, we purchased a facility that will close once the final approval is given. And what we do is we go and find the best facilities to operate our establishments in. And this creates a value to the investors. Since we did close our Colorado facility, it's very difficult to find facilities both in Colorado and in many states. You have to be 1,000 feet away from schools, hospitals, daycares, and there's a whole variety of zoning regulations. So my background is in real estate, and this is a big part of what I do at the company, is constantly finding the right facilities. For example, in Colorado right now, there's many people that have manufacturing infused product licenses to sell edibles, but the biggest problem is, and the reason why they can't scale up, is they have very tiny facilities, and even if their product kind of takes off a little bit, what they have to do is actually find a larger facility to do so. Now, the cost of the facilities have gone up tremendously because the cost to lease if you're a marijuana company, is more or less about triple. So what you find now is any building or any property that gets tagged for a marijuana facility, just on a base cap rate, these values basically triple. So that's why when we find these properties at market value, get the marijuana permits on it, we're creating value for the investor just by having these approved facilities for marijuana use. So that's a big part of what we do, and we're going to continue to do that in every state as we go forward. And it also gives control for us of our operation, because there are definitely leaseholds, and we're putting in machinery, industrial kitchens into the facilities, and we want to have control and create value with every leasehold dollar that we put in for our company and not for another landlord.
About just walking through the fundamentals of the company, cash position, share structure, maybe some of your key strategic shareholders that might be a part of the story thus far.
Yeah, our share structure, we're at about 112 million shares, I believe. We started the company we IPO'd at 5 cents. There was a 7 cent half warrant on the company. Right now, when we were doing our IPO, there was two parts of it. One part was we were being kind of pushed to raise a whole lot more money, and we didn't want to have a tremendous amount of outstanding shares. The other thing we did is we started our stock price at a cheaper price, so I don't really look at how many outstanding shares they are. I just look at the straight up market cap. We came out at around a $5.5 million market cap. Since then, the stock more or less has doubled. We think there's great value proposition here for the investor. If you look at any marijuana companies in the marketplace right now that are holding multiple licenses in different states, I mean, their market share is 30 million, 40 million, some up to $100 million. So, and we've really focused on creating value for the investor, and we think there's a great upside for the investor. I'm very aggressive in the states that I'm going to be focusing on. I'll only go into states that I feel are profitable for us to set up our own operations. Ones that I feel are less profitable, we're going to align ourselves and focus more on licensing deals and just getting royalties for putting in our machinery and our oils, putting in our people into these licensed producers, and we'll take a royalty from this. So, I'm careful in where we're going to be going and spending our money. Our cash position right now is, and what we raised from the IPO was sufficient for us to build out our Colorado facility. As we go into more and more states, if we move forward, we will look at doing another raise, but presently there's no other raise plan right now. We feel we can get Colorado operational and in position to start turning profit very quickly. It's a highly profitable industry, and what we're doing, we feel within the first year of operation, once the facility is built out, that we can get the revenue to or in the range of $7 million, and the net profits, your profit margins, you're looking at about 40% in this industry after everything. So sometimes on the oil side it's more in the 50% side. So depending on what our oil to edible sales really are, it'll be in that range, the 40-50% range.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be opening up in a whole variety of different states. Like I'm really starting to get aggressive, and this is one of the reasons why I'm here in Colorado, is to get Nutritional High and to and have a real multi-state platform for us. And we really think it will give, one thing is having multiple applications in many states will make us a takeout target, in a very quick fashion. What happens in the industry is, and in many states, is when you put in your application, the way it works is one of the first questions on the applications are you in another state? And if you are, you get bonus points. So as larger states like Florida and California and some of the larger states open up, there's no way that a larger company is going to want to lose out an application test because we have a multi-states and we're getting the bonus for that. They're just going to come and want to acquire us. So, one reason we think we'll be a takeout target is, just on the application side and also owning these facilities, because it gives people real strength in the marketplace to know that they have these large-scale facilities. In Colorado, as I was discussing before, there's many facilities that are processing facilities. They're called manufacturer infused product facilities. That there's many of them that have licenses, but when you look at how many are above 5,000 square feet, you can count them on your hands. And this is the reason, is that they just can't acquire the real estate. Since we, got the permits on the facility, we've had so many offers to buy our facility because they know it's tagged for a marijuana facility, and they understand that we can scale up the production to, supply the whole market, which nobody else can. And the cost for these facilities have just gone through the roofs, based on the rents and the cap rates. So, we're going to continue to do so. And the second thing that's going to make us a big takeout target is having a brand presence multi-state. There's a company called Bang Chocolate, and they were in 3 different states. They were doing in the range of a couple $1 million revenue, and they were purchased by a company called Mentor Capital for $38 million for 60% of their company. We'll be able, just with our New Mexico acquisition, our revenues are in that range, and we're going to have a brand present, that exceeds that very, very quickly. So, and what Bang Chocolate was doing, which is a little different than what we're doing, is they go against the Cole memo. So we only go to states where there's state licensing, where the state actually gives you a license to have a marijuana company or marijuana facility. They were going into states like California and other states that were unlicensed presently. And so we won't enter these marketplaces until it's made legal. So the whole Mentor Bang Chocolate deal probably will fall apart because Mentor won't be able to put the revenue on their books because it's, basically a legal activity. So, we do follow the Cole memo. We follow the letter of the law. We're a public company, and we do everything absolutely right, and that's our focus going forward.
Is there anything else you think you'd want to add there, David, to the story, just about Nutritional High? Anything else that you think is valuable? You've said a lot.
Well, you know what, we have, I would say the other important thing is we put a team together that is really quite unique. So aside from Melissa, Adam Schweris, who's the corporate secretary, he's a securities lawyer, but in actuality, what's happened now is he's become one of the top, I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, the top 5 marijuana lawyers in the country. And when I say marijuana lawyers, it's not defending people for marijuana convictions. It's for actually obtaining these licenses. So we've actually been contacted by so many different companies to actually just do their licenses for them. But, this is obviously our company mandate. In certain states we'll team up with somebody and help them do the licenses, and they can do. We're not looking to grow, so we look for grow partners in each state where they do the growing, and we take their scraps and their trim and make it into marijuana oil. We also work with some of the better and bigger growers in different states just to process their marijuana as well. So for us, it's very easy to get the product, and marijuana, the marijuana trim and shake, there's, a fair bit of, because there's not so many extractors and high scale people that are doing it on scale in the edibles market. So, we find it's, our business model is we don't have to wait for 4 months for the product to be grown. We basically, what we do is we put in our machine, and 4 hours later, our oils are ready to sell. So we have, it costs us about a quarter of what it costs to build out a grow, and we can make way more profits out of it, and we can start the production very quickly. So, in these states, you obviously have to build out your facilities and deal with regular permitting, but aside from the marijuana permitting, just as if you opened a restaurant, any other facility. So we do that, and we do everything to code. I have a real estate background, so I've built out many facilities and many kitchens. So, this isn't hard, and I do everything to code and by the letter of the law, but there is a time period it takes. But once we're in operation in all these states, it's profit all the way. So yeah, that's basically.
Maybe one more thing I'll just
buy Nutritional High, NHL on the CSE. Pick up as many shares as you can. Buy them in the millions. It's better.
No. Well, we'll qualify that statement, but maybe maybe just finally, what are the biggest things coming down the pipe for you? I mean, in the next, say, 3 to 6 months, what are the major milestones for the company?
Milestones are to get in another 3-4 states. That's the biggest milestones, and it's to increase our New Mexico operation right away and open our Albuquerque facility. Multiple states. So, I can't announce it, but, watch for the announcements. That's all I can say.
Okay. You see, we got a few other guys up here before I kind of wrap things up. Wonder if there's any questions from anybody else on the line. We'll just see here 1 sec.
Okay.
Just stay with me there for a sec, David. If there's no questions, then it's all good. Just give the guys a second to get back to me. Let me know if they have anything they're thinking about to ask you while we've got you here to poke away. But I think it was a pretty good overview, David, of the whole story. I will say for the appropriate regulatory purposes and disclaimers, we should probably add to the piece. Look, this presentation has been recorded for information purposes only. This is not a solicitation to buy or sell securities. Of course, if anyone were looking to buy or sell securities, it would be appropriate for them to consult their own investment advisors for suitability. Nutritional High is a Frontier Venture Capital client, of which I'm a part, and this is a function of our interest in communicating what Nutritional High is up to our audience. So it's maybe a Cole's notes on disclaimers for regulatory purposes. I guess you guys say this as well, that these types of ventures are and forward-looking statements that are inclusive in a presentation like this are subject to risks and uncertainties, including a variety of items. In this particular circumstance, I would suggest ability to acquire licenses, enter into production, generate sales, obtain financing, so on and so forth. So I think, David, you've done a good job explaining that whole story. I don't see any questions from the guys here, and just wanted to put that in there, which I think is appropriate.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
So just covering that off, and away we go. So thanks for your time, David. I'll let you get back with the group, and I wish you guys a good show over there, and we'll catch up.
Thank you so much.
Right on. Thanks, eh?
Yeah, have a great day.
All right, you too, David. Bye now.
Okay, bye.